It is March the 19th, and hello, everybody. I'm David Poole. This is a Rob Yates, and it is a Sunday evening. We're having a little Sunday get-together. The only thing that, Rob, we're missing is a bit of cool music, but what sort of music do you play on a Sunday evening when you're going to be doing a broadcast with live coach? I said live coaches, with life coaches, helping them just go beyond their illusions. What sort of record would you have on right now? I'll put you under the hot spot, isn't it?
For me, it would have to be something dance music-wise. That's what it would have to be. Something very upbeat and something that I can't help but move to.
I say, that doesn't have to be our question. We'll have to ask the questions for today. If you could play a record for life coaches tonight, what would it be? So let us know. That'll just be for a bit of fun.
I tell you what, my when I'm training and coaching, doing big group stuff and seminars and stuff like that, I use "Wake Me Up" by Avicii. Is always my anchored music that I use to get people back in state and back into the learning state and so on and so forth. And I really like it because that wake me up when it's all over, but equally just wake me up is such an important thing. In fact, that's actually what we're doing tonight. We're kind of like helping the world of coaching wake up to the reality of building
up. Yeah. I like so many different types of music, but yeah, I do actually do like a lot of dance music, and it's interesting. In dance music, there's quite a lot of spiritual stuff written in there. Not just love, but spiritual stuff. The lyrics, dance music's not really known for lyrics, is it? But when it is, I even thinking like Paul van Dyk for An Angel, and CRW, Feel Love, and what have you. If you listen to the lyrics, it's like, right, okay, yeah, cool.
CRW, Feel Love. Now you're showing your age, which is the same age as me, but now you're taking us back to our... We're going back to our late teens, early 20s at that point in time.
It's on the Kevin and Perry soundtrack. Right, we need to get started. So wherever you're from, let us know where you're from, your name and what have you not. And, if you're from Paris to Berlin, that was a record by Robin. We're going to be dropping dance music records all night tonight in this. And we're going to get on with our presentation. Now, what we like to do in our presentation, and Rob will tell you, we don't try to rub anybody up the wrong way. It's just that.
But we might. Because Rob and I kind of come from a classical, it's a classical way of marketing. And Edward's here saying, can he be a little bit of left field or faithless? I love faithless. I love left field as well. Both are on my phone at the moment.
Sister Bliss. Anyway, forgot where I was going. Yeah, Rob and I, we don't try to go against the grain, but we come from classical marketing. What we mean by classical marketing is this. We don't get deviated by the latest thing, the latest fad. We don't. Some of the latest fads can be really good for us. And I'm using ChatGPT right now. I'm playing with it, but I play with it within our business plan. Okay, so try and use it specifically with our business plan. But where some people are running off doing this, some people are running off doing that because everybody else is doing it, we don't. And we've tested, we've experimented, and we see how things work. But we always bring things back to basics and boil it back down. So we reduce it, just use a bit of a cooking term there. We put all the ingredients in, we boil it up, and then we reduce it. And the reason why we do that is to make our business simple as possible. Now, Rob, outside of Going Beyond the Illusion, has massive coaching business, the biggest in Africa, actually, and you're on several continents, aren't you, as well? And Rob keeps everything nice and simple, and we all need to do that.
David, something I'd like to do is I'd just like to ask people's permission, and I know you can't give it to us directly, verbally, right here, right now, but I'd like to ask you all for your permission for David and I to just be honest with you for the next little while as we go through this presentation.
Yeah.
And I'd like you to go and give yourself the permission to hear that honesty with honest intent, because sometimes we have to hear things, David, that are the truth, that are honest, and yet we just don't like them. Maybe we spent a long time going up a certain path, and that path isn't producing for us the returns, the customers, the impact, the income that we'd really, really like to have. And so in order for that to happen for us, if you could just give us the permission to be honest with you, we're going to do our best to soften any hard blows. We're going to be best to give you the reasons why behind the honesty as well, like the experience and the numbers and so on and so forth. This isn't just like a finger suck up in the air. Edward's already said yes to honesty. So thank you, Edward, for that. But for the rest of you who join us, just give yourself permission to hear honesty. Because for the way for you to build your coaching business is to be able to look truly and deeply into a mirror and see honest reality. Let's not see what we want to see or what may be there or whatever else. It's the honest reality. And from there, you have the opportunity to build the foundations, the walls, the roof, the interior decor, and the beautiful garden of your mansion house coaching business that I'm assuming you'd want a version of. So please just give yourself that permission. David, sorry, I interrupted, but there we go.
That was great. I've been playing with banners. I love it. Natalie Forrest is on here. Hello, Natalie, saying a bit of honesty. So what we're going to do with our presentation tonight, we're going to jump into some slides, but as you do, you will be able to see Rob and I. But before we jump into those slides, I'm going to show you two quick videos, if I can. I need to try and do this. Tech always loses me to a certain point. So I'm going to share my screen. Check this out. Hey, look at this. Share my screen, and I'm going to share some slides. I'm just going to show you two quick videos. They'll take about 2 minutes long. Really, really important. So, Rob, I'm just looking for the how do I make this big slideshow? There we go. Listen to this, everybody. And by the way, Edward's actually watching this as we speak.
You're about to hear from my coaches, David and Rob, and I really think that you should listen to what they have to say. For 7 years, I've been a therapist, and I've been trudging through the marshes of business and online coaching, struggling away to find the next client and keep hold of them and deliver the service that I can deliver as a therapist. But it's really hard to go out there and reach people and keep people. That's when I met David and Rob, and things changed, because they tell me how to get clients, how to find clients, how to keep clients, how to market better, how to really love what I'm doing and have that love transfer to the clients. So if you've got some spare time and you're willing and you're ready for your business to reach new heights, then I would listen to what these guys have to say. It's changed my life. It's changed my business. It's changed everything about how I work, who I work with, how I go about the business side of my life. It's literally the best thing that I've ever done in regard to business. So if you have the time, spend some time listening to these guys. They know what they're talking about, and they're awesome too.
Thanks, Edward. And let's try and find this next slide as well.
Hear from my coaches, David and Rob. You're about to hear from my coaches, David and Rob.
Kind of struggling here on the slides. Just give me a second. I'll go into this one here and just show you Katerina.
My coaching practice divides between the time before I met Rob and David and the time since I have been working with Rob and David. The time before is a lot of misinformation, chaos, and unnecessary spinning of the wheels, where since working with Rob and David, I have been able to comfortably translate the group of potential clients that I already had into a high ticket paying group. And if that sounds interesting to you, and if you have been stuck for a few years without being able to produce significant results in your coaching practice, I suggest that you tune into the training that Rob and David are offering this evening. And I promise you that you will not regret it. Your smile will be as big as mine in 6 months' time.
There we go. I'll stop the sharing and I'll just come back into here. So just a couple of little bits here. Oh, Tonya says, on the road, can't stay long. Lovely to have you. Edward brought something really sharp to the table there, Rob. It wasn't just about finding and retaining clients, but He loves what he's doing, and he loves transferring that love into his clients. And Katerina said she's gone from the chaos and misinformation and unnecessary spinning of the wheels to then be working with us. Ladies and gents, if you don't know what Edward Addison and Katerina Militek do, have a look at them, follow them through me. They're fantastic coaches. They both have fantastic businesses, and they're both minting it. And the minting it is the English version for crushing it, specifically coming from the 80s and 90s, but they're both minting it. What we're going to do now, though, is we are going to jump into the real action here on our webinar. And so I'm going to start off, and then we bring Rob in. See it like that. You know, on these professional sports shows, you might be watching the English Premier League. I'm the presenter that you've never heard of, right? The good-looking one, normally a girl. And Bob is the former famous athlete. That's how we do it. So tonight, ladies and gents, our presentation is about hourly rates and how they restrict our growth, why there's not enough hours on the day, the fact that we can't really build a foundation. We can't get to the second story. We build a foundation, it gets a little bit flimsy, but we can't build the second part of our business, which is the exciting part, the bit where we've got more time and more lifestyle and more wonderful occasions with our family. That's where most of our coaches struggle with. You know, if you look at coaches out there, that's where they struggle. Most coaches have a decent go at creating a niche and a transformation. Don't always quite get it right, but most coaches have a bit of a stab at that, and they go out and they try and bring some clients in, and then they go up and down, and get some clients in, and they don't have any clients for a long time. It's like London buses. And really, there's no consistency, Rob, in their business, is there? That's what we're talking about tonight. Rob?
Yeah, it's consistency, but it's more than that. It's clarity. You have to have complete clarity in order to be consistent around something. Mm-hmm. And I've been coaching now for 31 years. That's quite a long time. And, you know, I've been on all these courses. I've learned all of these things. And, you know, I can help so many people with so many things, right? And I can do so many different things to such a high level at exactly the same time. And yet, really, when you think about it, the way for any business to grow, not just inside the coaching industry, but outside of the coaching industry, because all businesses have the same core components. Mm-hmm. That if you can't grow by word of mouth, you can't grow in any other form either, right? So referrals are the number one source of new business. If you can get referrals, then you can use social media, not the other way around. But then if you think about it with that clarity, like, who and what is that person referring you as? Oh, you should speak to this person. They're a coach. They're a life coach. They kind of help this person with this and this person with that and that. And they leave this confused message. Or are they out like straight on the money? They've got a very sharp message they can refer you with. They can do it quickly and easily. And they can help you grow your business off the back of it. Because once you do that, you can turn social media into your friend. Up until that point in time, social media is an enemy. Now, we're going to speak more about that and the reasons why, but clarity and consistency are the two things you need to have in your business. And courage, I'd say, is the third. Courage to do it like other people are not. You know the funny thing, David, with this courage that I'm talking of? It's courage to do it like the really successful people who've got great coaching businesses, big coaching businesses, did when they were at the same stage you are now.
Yeah.
So, David, let's take an example of this. We both know of Russell Brunson, who's got his 2 Comma Club coaching programs, right? Just as an example. Today, Russell has about 10,000 clients in his 2 Comma Club coaching programs, and he's busy marketing them using social media, right? But that's 9 years down the road from when he first started the 2 Comma Club.
That's right.
when you go back to where he started from, because for many coaches, that's it. You know, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe even 20, but very small numbers of clients. Like even my elite performance coaching business, I'm still like 140 clients. It's not like it's ginormous. I mean, it's bigger than most people's businesses, but nevertheless, what was Russell doing to get those customers?
I mean, we've seen the video. We've actually seen the videos. He's got one video where he's standing up in front of an audience of half a dozen people, and in his presentation, by his own standards, he's laughing at it because his close was, "So who wants a piece of this?" But the thing is this, right? He went out there and spoke to people. He met with people, and that's the point that Rob is sharing here.
He found a whole bunch of people who wanted to join his low ticket offer, and it was actually to be a part of his digital platform. Number one, he then said, "Would you like some more coaching about how to put this into practice?" Number two, and the model's simple. He then said to everybody who joined, the small numbers, we're talking 4, 5, or 6. Do you know anywhere I can go and public speak about this? Yeah. And he trawled around speaking in front of people, no tech, no Facebook, no Instagram, no nothing, no YouTube, for 2.5 years before he picked up social media and started driving it. Yeah. At that point in time, he'd had his first 400 clients paying him consistently every year in his 2 comma coaching program, which, by the way, at that point in time was $1,000 a month. And we're talking 2016 at this point in time. So
he started small. He went out there and spoke to people.
We've got to have the courage to do our business like people who've got epic coaching businesses, like they did when they were at our size.
So, where are we? Who is this for? This is for coaches that you've got a few clients in already, or you've been in business before, and you're ready to step up to the plate and go, "Hey, you know what? I'm ready to speak to people. I'm ready to do this properly. I'm not, looking for these shortcuts because your heart and soul really isn't into it." But where you are right now is you've got these clients, but you're flying by the seat of your pants. You don't know where to go. You could be over there in 1 second and over on another project in another. And what we need to do is we need to reduce that down and find some calmness in yourself. If you need to find some calmness and a steady direction, making sensible steps forward so you can go on your epic journey in the way that you want to, without being exhausted, where you've got time for yourself and time for your family. Speaking of time for yourself, I know today's Sunday. I've walked 15 kilometers today, which is just short of 10 miles. I'm able to do that because of the way we've set our business up. And I want everybody who we speak to be able to have the option to bring into whatever you want to do in your life. For me, it's walking. So look, I know that you've been on presentations before. I know it's not your first. You're probably expecting, oh, look at the fluff and the BS and a big sell and all that sort of stuff. Look, what we've got to share with you is how Rob and I see the world, how we make our businesses tick, how we make our coaches, our clients, how we help them make their businesses tick as well. We're probably not the first coach that you've tried or anything like that, but you've been with other coaches, you've seen other things, and it's got you so far. But where you are right now is you can't push forward. You can't get beyond without being exhausted and just all that energy sapped out of you. You've probably tried a lot of things like Facebook groups, challenges, emailing lists and all that, just trying to find that one thing that works for you. If that's you, if you've done challenges, free groups, emailing lists, funnels, Amazon podcasts, but Amazon books, podcasts, YouTubes, adverts and all that sort of stuff, and you can't, automation, I'll throw automation into the mix as well. If you've been trying to do all of that and still find yourself treading water, and not being able to move on to that next step, then this presentation is why you're here. And Rob and I, what we're going to do is help you let go of all of that. So as Katerina said earlier, is step out of the chaos and step out of the misinformation and find some nice, calm waters. Your business is quite often like a little boat on the sea, but the sea's choppy and you're trying to navigate this choppy sea and you're trying to catch the fish. And that doesn't really work. You get a few and then you get them in the boat and then they go out the boat because the boat's up and down, because the weather's up and down, the sea's up and down. And what we're going to try and do, what we're going to do today is to show you how to take your boat, which is your business, out into steady, calm waters so that you're in control, you're comfortable, and that you can plot your vision and way forward. That's really important, because if you can't do that, then you're going to keep on jumping from project to project, shiny object to shiny object. We'll tell you now our personal goals. Personal goal for Rob, personal goal for myself, is to have more time with our families. I want to know why David Poole was born. You know, I want to live my life on my terms. I want to go out and do amazing, and I do. I go out there and do amazing and epic things, like cycle to Spain, you know, like, hey, just go on this vacation and go on that vacation or whatever. Rob is the same. I live in France, and it's wonderful to live here in France. Rob has got his own estate in South Africa with the mountains on the back and monkeys and everything else. These are part of our goals. You're no different. You have your own goals. And I'm going to pass over to Rob on the following slide, but your goals for this presentation, we need to be clear, ladies and gents. The first goal for the presentation needs to be for you to help you exponentially grow your coaching business with impact and authenticity by having a paid following. Impact and authenticity. We need to say goodbye to mailing lists and tech and funnels, and hello to the paid subscribers. They're the key to the future here, and we'll show you how and why. The only way to grow your paid following in a sensible way, Rob, where we come to a position where we don't need to sell. We don't need to sell. People are actually falling over themselves to come and join us. It's through the impact to income method that we're going to show you. We're going beyond the illusion. We're going to show the impact to income method. So we increase your impact, or you increase your impact with us. You increase your authenticity. You don't have to sell. You create an epic community. People just come to you and say, hey, can I refer my friend? Hey, can I do some one-to-one with you? Do you have a mastermind? That's the position where we need to be. Now, when I say leaders, Rob, I know that some coaches fear, oh, I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be too far out there. But the thing is, leaders and leadership can look in so many different ways. As coaches, we always need to be a point of reference. We're a point of reference that other people can refer people to us, where it's so easy for them to refer people to us. And we develop our paid community where we nurture the right people, where we help them go beyond their illusions, where you can be the lighthouse and they can just, as I said, see the light, their light, go beyond their illusion. But they're looking at us going, wow, what you do is incredible. And we want to make it a no-brainer. We don't need to get complicated with offer stacks and value stacks and objection handling and all that sort of stuff. We want to stay a million miles away from that. What we want to do is we want to create an epic following of people who completely and utterly buy into you on their terms without any persuasion from you. They buy into your authenticity and they buy into your journey, and they love what you do and they want to be like you. Rob, what's the challenge that we face as coaches, please?
Well, there's all these things on this slide, number one. But I reckon number two, it's how we can stand out in the noise of the world and bring to people genuine opportunities with genuine outcomes or transformations for them. And what I mean by that, I mean, David, I haven't been on Facebook today. I'll be open and honest with you, but I know you have. As you flick through your news feed on Facebook, and Facebook is just one platform, I'm going to guess that you saw probably in the region of 20 to 40 adverts for things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of it was going to be coaching related because that's what happened. Some of it's going to be football or soccer related because you're into that. Some of it's going to be just random stuff. You're like, how on earth did that get there? So there's 20 to 40 adverts in however little time you spent on there. There's then, on top of that, there's then posts from different people who are busy positioning themselves. Then there's your friends and family who are busy chucking up random stuff of like somebody's birthday party, or it's Mother's Day in England today. Happy birthday to all the mums in England today. You know,
around the world.
Or around the world, but it's not. Mother's Day in South Africa is like a few months time. Anyway,
June for France.
June, that's it. But it's Mother's Day in the UK today, and there's all this noise, and people are getting lost in the noise. And our job is to be able to stand out from the noise and create an opportunity where people get to know and like us, but actually trust that if they pay for X, they get the Y they are promised. Right? I don't know if any of you spent any time wandering around, but there's actually now a YouTube channel and a Facebook group set up out there naming and shaming coaches who don't deliver on what it is they promised, and the numbers are in the thousands. What that's actually doing is creating skepticism in the buyers of, well, David, if I give you this money, then what? Right? Then what? Are you going to deliver for me? Now, there's always that bit of, the client does have to do some work, right? They can't just sit there and we as coaches just can't wave a magic wand and miracles happening. But, from the client's perspective, David, in terms of this standing out in the noise, on that YouTube channel, I was watching it yesterday. There's coaches who have taken thousands of dollars off people and never even tried to deliver the first coaching session. Right? We're not talking about gave it their best go and then people didn't get the outcomes. It's like people who took money and never actually showed up. And that's a client's worst nightmare. So when we can learn to stand out from the noise and build likefulness and trust with our clients, the rest of our coaching business booms. And when I look at about the bullet points David's got on here, sure, we could go through and read them bullet point by bullet point by bullet point. But David, I think I've summarized it.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it goes back to the previous slide. You're talking about authenticity, standing out, being authentic without having to cheapen ourselves or without having to make ourselves look plasticky. There are some coaches out there, really well known. And I see their reels and there they are with more Botox. I mean, more plastic than bloody Barbie, talking an absolute crock of shit as well. And people paying them money because they're out there all the time. They dominate the marketing, the advertising space. They don't see anybody else. And that's part of our challenge as independent coaches. How can we go beyond that? How can we get past that? And you're right. At the heart of it, we have to be authentic. We have to be real. And that actually really means about storytelling as well, and sharing our stories in a way that's engaging and allows us to be that lighthouse. And so what Rob and I did is we wanted to find a solution to the problems that all coaches have, like we've just been speaking about, like how to get people in a funnel, how to get people in a mailing list and Facebook groups and all that sort of stuff. And what we did is we looked closely at what coaches are being offered. Now, we decided to do this because nobody else is. A good scientist and looks at what's out there and looks at it from an impartial point of view, don't they, Rob? So we took our experience and we looked at what coaches are being offered, and then we looked at buyer behavior, general buyer behavior, not just from this industry, but from all industries, and the habits that we make, which led us to thinking, how can we make the best use of these habits? And that is what helped us create something quite special. And it's hard for most coaches to be able to go out there and do what Rob and I have done, simply because they don't have the clients or they don't have the experience in that area or don't know what questions to ask. Rob and I do. So we're looking for, or looked for, a solution so that coaches can run their business literally in the way that they want. And the secret, if you want to use that word, is within buyer behavior and the habits that we make. Rob, books. So easy to buy a book, isn't it? I mean, I've got, my table is actually littered with books as we speak. And Rob, I bet you go, oh, I wouldn't mind knowing the answer to that. And sometimes we go on YouTube and get the answer, don't we? There you go. You've got an expert secrets book.
There's expert secrets. Yeah. There you go.
You got to buy a book, and you've got a problem. Where'd you go to? If you're going to go and buy a book, where do people ordinarily go to?
Oh, I go to Amazon to order all my books.
Right. Okay. You have a nice little browse on there, don't you? 5-10 minutes, something like that. Looking at a few different options.
Books are an easy purchase, right?
Easy purchase. That's it.
You've got a problem that you'd like to solve. That could be just chilling out hedonistic pleasure, which is reading a novel on a beach with a glass of wine in your hand, right? That could be your reason for buying a book. It could be because there's a specific piece of knowledge that you're missing. And that's another reason for buying a book. It could be that there's inspiration missing and you want to be inspired by, I don't know, a famous person. You want their biography or autobiography. But it's quick, easy purchase. And, you know, if I look at the price of books, I don't know what I've got expert secrets in here. No great plug for Russell Brunson, but I think it's a cool book. This book, David, I bought. It was probably one of about 3 I bought in a month. And it cost me $24.95 plus postage and pack.
Yeah, this is, it's in pounds. By the time I translated it, $17. And I never buy one. I always buy 2 or 3 like you.
And here's the thing. It's a quick, easy purchase.
Yeah.
It's like, go on there, find the thing, read the review, click go, it arrives. You can read it and take action. And there's 2 aspects of this because it's super easy to buy a book and solve your problem. Number one. Mm-hmm. The second thing is I want us to recognize just how easy it is to go buy a book on anything.
Yeah.
And how the value in knowledge is changing in the coaching industry right here, right now in front of us. If you haven't seen ChatGPT floating around in your world as a coach over the past 3 or 4 months, go and check it out. But the value in knowledge is changing. And I think that's really, really, really important. Now, there's a difference that has to happen, which is actually most people, David, buy their book quickly and easily, but never put the knowledge into practice.
Mm-hmm.
What do great coaches do? Support people to put knowledge into practice.
Absolutely.
So what I want to ask you, and what all as you're listening to this, to think about is people quickly and easily buy books, and it's often, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month on books, right? That's the first thing. Easy purchase. But what's more value to the person? Is it buying the book and getting the knowledge, or is it being able to be supported to put it into practice, or maybe is it a combination of the 2? Now, for me, if I could have Russell Brunson, right, David, I've read it. You and I've both read Expert Secrets. We've actually paid thousands and thousands of dollars to go and hang out in ClickFunnels conferences in our past to learn from Russell Brunson. And, I want to take this for a thing. Russell's Inner Circle, David, not Inner Circle, his 2 Comma Club, which is putting Expert Secrets into practice, right? The book, $24.95. The membership to his coaching community, $2,500 a month.
Yeah.
People will pay more for the knowledge into practice and the support for the knowledge in practice than they will do for that easy purchase of the book. Now, I wonder what you as a coach listening to this, what it is you're hearing right now. For me, what I always think of is I undervalue myself as a coach, and actually I can help people put this into practice for a small monthly amount. That's what I hear.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to the next slide. And there's a reason for that, because I think we've taken a lot out of this. This is buyer behavior. What are we looking at Amazon? People buy books. They grab the information. Doesn't mean they put it into practice. It's a quick sale, ready to buy it. I want you to all remember that, because that's going to move us on in a minute. We also looked at free Facebook groups. Hand on heart, I have one. I started mine in September 2019. There was 2,300 people in it. I've now slimmed it down to about 1,500 because I'm trying to get smaller. Set my group up when Facebook groups were a lot different to the way they are today. In terms of today, the saturation of them is huge. There are lots of inherent problems with Facebook groups. So we looked at this, and it made me smile, really, because I studied psychology when I was about 19, and it took me back to Pavlov. If anybody's looked at a bit of Pavlovian classical conditioning, where he rang a bell in front of some dogs, and then he brought some food. And if you, I don't know if you notice, but when a dog's hungry, before it eats, it starts to produce saliva. Okay, so what he did, rang the bell. The dog go, oh look, I'm going to get food. I'm going to get fed in a second, and then the dogs would have some saliva coming out. This is the basis of the psychological finding called classical conditioning. With Facebook groups, we are also participating in classical conditioning of you don't have to turn up. There's zero commitment, and there's free information that you don't have to pay for. So there's a huge inherent problem of today with free Facebook groups.
David, it's worse than that, though, isn't it? Pavlovian conditioning has conditioned so many coaches to believe that the way to their business future is a free Facebook group, right? That's a conditioning of coaches. You've then got another conditioning of coaches. Let me take, David, I want to ask you a question. You love soccer, right?
Football.
Yeah. Soccer if you're in North America, football if you're in Europe. You love football. How many different Facebook groups, football Facebook groups, are you part of?
Oh God, don't even ask. I've got no idea.
No idea.
No,
it's
that
like
many.
5,
It's that
10, 20.
Oh, Rob, it's that many. I can't even bother to go into the groups and then to delete myself out of the groups, because delete yourself out of the group, you're going to go into the group to press the button to press the delete to come out.
Cool.
Oh, I don't know, a couple of hundred.
Couple of hundred. So here's the thing: when people go into Facebook, they go in there maybe to solve a problem for themselves, right? Maybe they want to lose weight, right? There's a great example, right? Lose weight.
Yeah.
So they go and put weight loss into the little search icon, and all of these groups pop up. And then they start hunting for free information, right, to lose weight, because they for whatever reason don't want to spend money on it, and they join 5, 10, 15, 100 in David's case Facebook groups. And we feel like they're ours because they're in our Facebook group. And yet they're actually getting similar content, the same content, more or less, from 100 other coaches or professionals who do exactly the same as you for free. And everybody's hoping this one person is going to spend 100 times if they're in 100 different groups on the same topic. Not only that, you know, David, great business practice is to risk manage your business.
Yep.
What happened, David, when you lost your Facebook profile?
Nah. Fortunately, I do a little bit of risk management, and therefore I own my data. So not everything's pumped into a Facebook group. I've got people in my phone for a start, and they're all saved in my iCloud. But how many people have that, Rob?
I've had a client who had a free Facebook group they were working on where they were the only admin. They lost their Facebook account. And at the same time, they lost 12,500 people in a free Facebook group because no longer can they go in there and access their group. All of that time and effort.
All that time and effort. And here's another cool thing you need to know about Facebook groups. If somebody is going to go into your Facebook group because they may be interested in buying, if it goes after 72 hours, the chance of them buying literally goes straight out the window, off the cliff, into the bowels of hell. People forget you. If they are interested in something now. So you've really got to strike while the iron's hot. And there's no point you doing, oh yeah, let's put your email address in here, and then I'll send you my thing. Because, you know, if you own a Facebook group and you're trying to capture email addresses, and I've seen lots of people do this, my God, please don't add them in manually, because there's no double opt-in. And now a double opt-in is when somebody comes to your webpage, said, yes, I'm interested in this, press submit, and the email then goes to their email address. They get that email and they click again, yes, I want it. That's a double opt-in. If you're not doing double opt-ins, guess what happens? Your emails go into their junk. Now, don't worry about the individual here, because Sarah might not be seeing your emails because they're going into junk. What you need to be worried about are the email servers, who recognize that most of your emails go into email junk. So when you're messaging Sarah at her Gmail account, and Alison at her Gmail account, and Stephen at his Gmail account, and they've not double opted in, and your emails are going into their junk, where do you think your future emails are going to go to when you're sending something to a Gmail account? You got it right.
So David, let's just go and take a bit of coaching perspective on this, right? Coaches are really good at understanding people, right? Mm-hmm. Really good at understanding people. So when we think about this, understanding people as a thing that coaches are good at, we could then start to understand, you know, different behaviors that people have. And then we could ask ourselves a question: for what purpose do people go to Facebook, right? What purpose?
Normally to hang out, to go and have fun.
That's it. To amuse themselves for a period of time.
Yeah.
People don't go to Facebook to spend money. Now,
no, it's passive.
That's it. Now, we're not saying it's impossible to get clients from Facebook, because it is very possible. However, David does it, and David's been selling since about the age of 8, and since he was in primary school. He's been a sales professional his entire working life, right? And he is not getting clients in the 10s per week or 20s per week out of Facebook.
No.
And it takes all of that skill, knowledge, and expertise, and failure, and resilience, and the love of selling. The love of selling. I want you to hold on to that. The love of selling, to go and get clients from Facebook. Now, I've yet to meet a coach who's got 30 plus years sales experience and absolutely adores selling as one of their core passions. I haven't yet found one, David. And so maybe we're setting ourselves up to fail to go and do Facebook groups, when I said a little while ago, social media becomes your friend when you can consistently get referrals, word of mouth referrals.
Absolutely right. So let's just look at what we've spoken about there with Amazon. You can go and buy a book, nice and easy. People do that. It's a habit. It's a habit we need to be aware of. With the free Facebook groups, we also could potentially create habits in there where we're encouraging people not to buy. So you then see these other products out there like funnels and Facebook ads and what have you not, with these different claims. But the truth of the matter is, and Rob was just about to get into this, we don't need to take a sledgehammer to crack a nut. We really don't. If you sit down, now I'm saying if you sit down and think about it, before I say that, the ICF, I think we all know them. I did some research on the ICF. And in 2020, they said that the average income for a life coach is $41,000. $41,000. So let you know, that's $800 a week. The average income in the US is something like $90,000, I've been told. Some sort of research I did this morning on Google. So if you're looking for $40,000, which is the average income, I'm sure we're probably looking at 90,000 to 100,000, or the 10,000 a month, which is 120,000. How many people, Rob, do we need to speak with? That's what it's about. How many clients do we need to speak with? It's not how many clients we stick in our mailing list or put in our funnel or our Facebook challenge or our Facebook group. We don't need to do that. And, there are some companies out there who are spending thousands upon thousands upon thousands on Facebook ads and other social media ads to get that level. But we're building their foundations here. And we're going into story 2. You will see coaches out there going, oh, I'm making this much money and I'm making that much money. And maybe they are. Maybe they are. But they've been doing it for 15, 20 years. And they've been putting all of their money back into ads, because they're on this mission to make cash. Now, for me, you know what? Give me 50 clients. Give me 50 clients a year. If I don't know how many you want, but if you want 50 clients and all, I don't know, let's say they all pay you $200 a month. That's $120,000 a year. So if you had 50 clients, how many people do you need to speak to? The right people, Rob. 150 people, 200 people. It's all you need to speak with. And it's not a lot. It really, really isn't. It's not a lot. The problem what we're doing is we're going to social media and social media ads, and it's not right for the 99%.
We also need to be very careful of all the figures kicking around, right?
Yeah.
I've mentioned Russell Brunson already, so I'll mention him again. But his business, ClickFunnels, has their 2 Comma Club Award, which means it's the $1 million award, right? Here's the thing. I met a guy living in a trailer who was getting his award, literally living in a trailer, getting his award. His business, through a funnel, had done just over $1 million that year. Congratulations.
Yeah, on stage. Brilliant.
The profit margin was $68,000.
Repeat that, Rob. The profit margin was
$68,000. That's the money he earned, $68,000 for all of that work to put $1 million worth of revenue through a business. Now, the thing is that we're being lulled into the wrong figures by all of these adverts out there. The have a whatever it is, 6-figure coaching business or a 7-figure coaching business or whatever else. One of my mentors once said to me, turnover is vanity. That's the amount of business money going through your business every year. And profit is sanity. Right? And we need to be really, really careful as we're making decisions. What money are we talking about? Are we talking about the turnover of a business, a big, large, swirling pot of which maybe Facebook ads to try and compete against Tony Robbins needs to be paid for, just as an example, who's got infinitely more money than we have, all of that stuff? Or are we actually talking about profit? That's the cash that goes into your back pocket that you need to pay the tax man some money on, and then you go and pay to have a cool family life with, or whatever it is you want to do with afterwards. And this is where I can put me on a soapbox for 30 hours, David, and I'm going to shut up in 2 seconds.
You're going to have to.
But it's so important, if we're going to build a business, we understand what it is people are directing us towards when they give advice and guidance. The only numbers that I care about for you as a coach is your profit. How much money you personally earn after all expenses.
So please, when you see these strategies, remember they can work, but they usually work best for bigger companies who have a team and they have the money to do it. They have a proven product to do it with, and they've got customers they can go back with and sell product 2 and product 3 with. Do we need it as coaches when we perhaps only need somewhere between 20 and 50 coaches a year? So let's stop taking that sledgehammer, to crack the nut. And I want to share something else with you as well. Now, this, Rob, really gets my goat, because we hear a few gurus saying it. It sounds really fucking cool. And to be honest with you, it's anything but. Charge what you are worth. My God, if there was ever a time to stick a revolver to your head, it is now. It is exactly and completely and utterly, Rob, the wrong question that we should be asking our business. This is an ego-driven question given out by 2 types of people. Number 1, they want to hype you up into a position of scarcity where they are saying, look, charge what you're worth, and this is my price, and you should be paying extra, and come and buy from me now. And if you don't, then you're not buying into what you're worth. And the second type of person is the person who hasn't yet worked what this really means. Because the question should not be charge what we're worth. The question should be, how can we make a wonderful business model that has the love, abundance, community, evolution, impact, and energy inside it? This is a question for us as coaches, as business owners, that we need to answer, and we can answer very quickly. This is not about charging what we're worth. This is literally, it boils down to 3 things, in my opinion. Rob might be able to add to it. Number 1, the impact. How many people can we positively impact? Number 2, the income that we earn. That's the net income. And number 3, the lifestyle that we generate from the work that we do and the income that we earn. Rob?
I think this charge what you worth is David, I'm with you in terms of the it's a red herring, right? It's a something very fancy, but so cool. Let's just say that you think that you're worth $10,000 per client, right? That's what you think you're worth, and you've built a program that somebody's told you is worth $10,000 per client. It's all irrelevant, right? What really comes down to is, can you sell that package convincingly to somebody and easily get them to pay you the $10,000 for it, right?
You've got to come in with the right energy. It's so difficult.
That's it. But then here's the other thing is, what limiting beliefs start playing for them and for you? For some of my clients, if I said $10,000, they would tell me, why so cheap, right? They wouldn't buy from me because it's too cheap. So all of this comes down to actually not charging what we're worth, understanding what we can consistently and easily sell something for ourselves. Consistently, easily so it doesn't feel inside, and the other person feels great, and they're like, "Yep, I'm going to do it now. Cool. Send me the PayPal link while we're on the call. I'll just pop my details in there. Great. I'm in your group now. I'm in your coaching business now. I'm in your course now. I'm in your program now. What next?" Like, they're super excited. Now, when we can work that out for ourselves, what you can consistently and easily charge people for and produce results and transformations for them that they will easily pay for, then you reverse engineer your business model around that. That's the truth. So, like, if you're a person who can easily sell at $20,000 and you can sell 1 a week, and you love life and you are happy with that, and you don't want any more impact, you've got all the income you want, you're probably in the wrong presentation, to be honest with you. But I've been in this game for decades, and I think I've met 5 to 10, maybe 11, now I'm thinking about it, coaches who can consistently sell high ticket quickly and easily. They can easily find clients, easily get them on the phone, easily get the client to want to buy, easily get the client to buy, and do it consistently. right? Most coaches I meet, the last thing they want to do is sell.
Yeah.
They have limiting beliefs and icky feelings around money inside.
Yeah.
They struggle to find new clients, enough of them to actually generate a real business. And that's simply because we're trying to charge what we're worth and following the wrong model.
I tell you what, Rob, I'd far prefer to have 50 clients all paying me $200 a month than fishing around for one client to pay me $10,000 a month, because I've just recession-proofed my business. And if you ask most coaches, Rob, oh, can you get to, sell this, show the person that this product's worth $10,000, 99.97% of coaches are going to go, I can't do that. I don't have the technical ability for it, and I don't have the energy for it, and it doesn't feel right. But probably 100% of all coaches can go, you know what? Yeah, forget my service for the moment. Forget what it looks like at the moment. But can I sell something at $200? Yes, I can. So if we want to recession-proof our business, protect our business, and increase our impact, let's not charge what we're worth. Let's be smart about the business model that we're using.
Let's earn what we're worth. That would
earn what we're worth.
Here's
Anyway,
the thing, David. I've mentioned risk management already, and I want to come back to this again, because what you just said is so true. And, as coaches, we weren't often trained in real business. We were actually trained to be coaches.
Yeah.
And a core pillar of building a great business is risk management. If you have one client at $10,000 and you lose 10% of your clients, you lose the entirety of that client, which means your monthly income will be zero, right, from one client. If you have 50 clients and you lose 10%, 50 at 200, and you lose 10%, you still have 45 paying you $200 a month, which you still have a $9,000 a month income. You've just risk managed your business.
So when you look at the risk management and you look at what we've just been talking about over the last 15, 20 minutes about how easy it is to go and buy an Amazon book, and on how we set ourselves up to fail by creating these challenges and Facebook groups, and how funnels really aren't working for us because we have to spend a lot of people going into the traffic there. These habits and these behaviors helped Rob and I sit down and devise the the impact to income method, where if you just had a nice, easy conversation and you said, yeah, this is what I do and this is the people who I help. If you're speaking to the right person, I'd be interested. If the price is right, I'm talking like like buying 2 books off Amazon, that sort of price. Wow, yeah, okay, I'll give that a go. You only need to deliver a few minutes of content a day. Maybe you don't even do a daily content. Maybe it's you do a weekly Zoom, private Zoom. As long as you are able to present the transformation to the right people, just have a conversation and then let them join. Deliver deliverable content. Deliver livable content. And once you've got a group of, let's say, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, let's say that you were doing 2 Zooms a week, a Tuesday and a Thursday, and you did that every week, and that's the content that they bought. And let's say that you charged $100 for it because you're happy with selling it at $100, and they're really happy at buying it at $100. And today we're on March the 19th or March the 19th, and you go out there and you recruit 2 people a week, 10 people a month. In 5 months' time, you've got 50 people. In 5 months' time, you're making $5,000 a month recurring, but you're not. You're making more. And the reason why you're making more is because they will just ask you, what else can you do for me? Do you have a mastermind? Do you have any one-to-one sort of support for me? I've got a slide here. Let's just imagine you're charging $31 a month. That's $1 a day. And you had 33 people in and you're making $1,000 a month. just 6 of those people just paying you an additional 1,000 each, and another 5 pay you 300 each, you're up to close to 10,000 a month. And the beautiful thing is, these people aren't lost in a Facebook group. They're not lost on a funnel or a mailing list. These are people that you've had a chat to. I've been speaking to a lovely lady this afternoon, and she works with horses. And I said to her, I said, how, and she wants to work coaching in that sort of area. And I said, how many people do you know? She said, I know hundreds. Wow. How many people do you know in your field? You know, you might know 5, you might know 10, you might know 20, 30, 40, 50. We work with a lady who she works with teenagers. How many parents do you know who've got kids aged between 9 and 19? You know, and then you can ask them, how many people do you know? We work with Edward Addison, and Edward helps people lose weight, feel good about themselves, have a better shape, you know, an image. And the easy question is, go through your phone. How many people do you know? So when we put impact to income, impact to income together, look, this is better than the Facebook challenge, because Facebook challenges, you have to spend lots of time to get people there. And most of them won't turn up. And most of them are going, oh, it's a free challenge. All right, yeah, okay, well, what time is it on? And people think, oh, God, something else that's free? It's not worth it. I'm doing something else. I'm taking my kids to school. I'm having my teeth pulled. I'm watching Emmerdale Farm. I'm watching the football. I'm doing something. People aren't attracted to free because it means they've got to give something up to be able to get your free thing. So if you're going to do a free Facebook challenge, you're better off literally speaking to people and going into the impact to income method, where you could start to get paid. Because if they're serious, Rob, if they're serious about creating that transformation, they're going to pay $1 a day. You know, if they're really serious, they'll probably pay you $3 a day, you know, $100 a month. And then once they're in your group and they're there, they start to really love being with you. They turn up, even if they only turn up twice a week, because they don't always turn up because they've got different things on. That's life. But when they pay you, you're always thinking about it. It's like that gym, but this is the gym membership that does work, isn't it, Rob? Because I mean, if you want to lose weight and you want to have a gym membership, you pay for a gym membership, let's say $50 a month. And then you're constantly thinking, oh my God, I keep spending $50 a month at this gym, but I don't make an effort to go down there. But with this, you know, people can do that transformation that you're teaching them in your group coaching at home without being on your live, without watching your video immediately. Let them watch the video later. Let them binge watch your videos at the end of the week if they want. It's called conscious accountability. And this is way better than having a free group, because if you're trying to get people into your free group right now, you're saying, hey, please come and join my group. And they're thinking, oh my God, if I join that group, what else have I got to give up? And they forget the free group. And if they don't buy within 3 days, they're never going to buy anyway. And Rob, I'll run through this slide and you must do the next one.
I just want to go backwards a step, David, actually, just very, very briefly.
You want to go to this one?
Yeah, that this having this paid for coaching group where people are paying you a gym membership, let's say, of an amount of money, actually speaks to one of the core tenets of coaching.
Okay.
Which is that the transformation is at the pace of the client, not the coach. Okay. I'll say that again. The transformation is at the pace of the client, not the coach. What this gym membership allows your clients to do is to transform at their pace by following great coaching practice, right? It's actually about you being an epic coach. It allows them to go and have a vacation, have a few weeks off. It allows them to fall off the wagon for a few weeks. But more than anything else, it gives them the opportunity to see and build that belief inside of themselves that, oh, somebody else is achieving X, Y, and Z. That's what I want. If I can do that with this, if they can do that with this coach, I can too, right? They're committed to you because it's not a free thing. And it's probably, if I would say, please don't make this coaching group in Facebook, so they're not in this noisy environment. And I just think this is so important in terms of building a real business for yourself. It's like if you're hearing this now, the number one question you need to be asking yourself is, how do I put this into practice in my coaching business so that I have a safe coaching business, so that I am allowing clients to transform at their pace, so on and so forth, because this is critical for you building a great coaching business. Sorry, David, I guess I had to say that. It was my soapbox moment again.
No, it was great. And I was running down a way, and you had to jump in and you did the right thing. So why is impact to income better than a funnel and emailing list? And I've put some figures up here. If you want to get people into a funnel, you've got to send people to a funnel, right? So what I'm going to share with you right now is pretty damn accurate. You send 1,000 people to a funnel. Maybe you pay for that. Maybe you do it through your own time by sending people there. Approximately 10% will enter their details. We know that because we know what the industry standards are. Now, we're going to get 1 or 2 people that are going to get their email address wrong. But I'll tell you, for every 100 people that sign up, only about 75 will actually confirm their email address. What I mean by that is this. They go to your webpage, they type in their name and their email address, and they click on submit. A message then gets sent to their email inbox, right? And in their email inbox, they then need to click on, yes, I want this. Otherwise, they'll never see your emails. And you'll just go straight to junk. So, Aweber and MailChimp, you probably heard of those. There are other companies out there as well. They tell you that the average open rate of an email is 21%. I'm just going to use 20% because the maths are a lot easier for me. So if you send 1,000 people to a funnel and only 10% enter their name, that's 100 people. But only 75% confirm their email address. So that's only 75 people. And then only 20% of that 75, about 15, are opening their emails. And they're not even buyers. You want to stay from a funnel and an email list? Because 1,000 people sent to a funnel or an email list, the industry standard is that you will only get about 15 people reading their emails from you. And you've got to get 1,000 people there. That is a lot of hard work. The alternative is impact to income, where we have nice, easy conversations with people. Because I don't expect you to go out there and have 1,000 conversations, Rob. But if you had 1,000 conversations, Rob, I would expect that you get some customers out of that. Actually, Rob, if you had 100 conversations with people to say, this is who I am and this is what I do and this is the transformation that we take people on, and you need that transformation, and the price is low and the perceived value is fairly high, I'm going to help you with this, and we do 2 live Zooms a week or whatever it is, and it's only $50 a month. Would you be interested? I'd imagine you probably convert at least 33, a third as a minimum. As soon as you start to get better at it, 50 or 60 or even 70. And that's why we don't do funnels.
It's interesting you're looking at this. I want people to hear funnels can work. David, jump back to the slide for me, please. Just go back.
Sure.
Funnels can work. Look at the numbers, right, though. If you want funnels to work for you, my challenge to you is this. How many thousands of people can you afford to send to your funnel at what price point? Right? Number one.
Yeah.
Like that, because you're going to have to, this isn't going to come for free out of some nonsense organic Facebook, social media, Instagram, TikTok, organic nonsense strategy. It's not going to work. Those things don't work, right? What works to get people to funnels is paying for adverts, right? You're probably going to find it's going to cost you a couple of dollars per person to get somebody to a funnel. Maybe you could get it cheaper, but it depends what you're targeting. But for a lot of coaches, that's the truth. A couple of dollars, right? So you 1,000 people, that's cost you $2,000 to get 15 people reading your emails.
Yeah,
right?
Fair enough. That's about fair.
Now go and play the numbers out for yourself. 15 people who read an email, like buying standards from people reading email is you need roughly 1,000 people to read an email to get one purchase. right? So I want you to go and do the maths because you're incredibly clever human beings. I want you to go and read. What does that look like? I don't even know what the maths is, but I'm going to work that out now because I think it's really, really, really important. Divided by 15.
I'll tell you, as Rob's doing that, you have got to be, as we say in England, shit hot. I mean, he's really good. You've got to be really good at your sales copy. You've got to be convincing enough to get them onto a discovery call. Then you've got to be an expert on a discovery call where you can convert from the discovery call tire kicker into somebody that's paying the money. That is a whole skill set.
I'm going to guess you need to send 30,000 people into a funnel to get one high ticket purchase.
Yeah. Because I mean,
do the maths. How much is the purchase value, right? Even if it cost me $1 per person to get them into a funnel, 30,000, right? That means to break even, I have to sell one $30,000 package.
Yeah, well, three packages at 10,000.
At 10,000. And I'm still trapped in that lack of business knowledge, which is income-based, turnover-based, as opposed to profit-based.
I mean, Rob, even if you are good at this, the risk is so high, but we're coaches, right? What are we good at doing? We're good at listening to people, and we're good at asking questions. And this is at the basis of income to impact through going beyond the illusion. Asking questions and listening to people. Now, I want to move on slightly because we want to share with you some golden nuggets about what we've discovered in terms of impact to income. And what I mean by that is having like a group coaching, but it's not group coaching that you could regularly find on YouTube. You know what's a group coaching? We'll come on to that a little bit more at the end. We're going to really pull out what is inside income to impact, so you could try and replicate it or do it with us. The first golden nugget about doing group coaching, ladies and gentlemen, is that the real transformation doesn't take place in the group. This is what Rob said earlier. It's about learning at the client's pace and not the coach's pace. It is where, all right, let's say they're paying you $50 a month for $100 a month, and they're only turning up to, let's say, 25 or 50% of your sessions. That's fine. We have conscious accountability. This is not a gym membership where they've got to go and go there and lift weights. They're lifting weights in their mind by being with you. As soon as they start to pay, they make their awareness even stronger, and the awareness of succeeding to complete this transformation. You don't get that in free groups. And if you've been worried about, I'm not quite sure whether my people would want to be in a group coaching sort of scenario, now you know why group coaching scenarios are fantastic. And this is a big difference between being free and paid. Oh, well, David, I'm not quite sure if I want to charge people $50 a month. I may as well do it free. Don't. Because that takes the impetus away from them, and we're not serving them. Charge them. Even if it's $31 a day or $50, it doesn't matter. Charge them. That allows them to remember. It allows them to remember that about your group, and that they can work on it all the time, even when they're driving. Julie says, I missed the first 40 minutes of this. Will the recording be here afterwards? It absolutely will, Julie. Lovely to see you again. So another golden nugget here, Rob. Do you want to go into this, or do you want me to do this as well?
I think we both can play with it, but okay. I think time for me is one of my most precious assets, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just about time at work. It's about like time with my wife, time with my kids, time on my estate here, time doing other hobbies and interests, time building cool stuff to serve my clients with. And when I think about the lessons I've learned in building a coaching business over the past, jeepers. I mean, I've been coaching a very long time, but like especially when I think, David, over the past 8, 9, 10 years, the amount of time I have sunk into building funnels, growing Facebook groups, I did a year's worth of Facebook lives twice a day into a Facebook page, only for Mark Zuckerberg to go and change the algorithm of Facebook, and then we went from getting 5, 6, 7, 800 viewers a day of our videos down to 1. Right, the algorithm change. I did all of this stuff, and I used all of this time. And honestly, the one thing I look back at in my business, in terms of, is like, I haven't wasted time because I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
But what if I just went out there to people, had great conversations with them, with an offer that was too good to say no to, right? That produced results for a client where they could afford the results easily. They could afford to build a relationship with me quickly and easily. And then they got such great results, they wanted to bring their friends and family and their colleagues and their networks into it. Like, what if I'd just gone and done simple business like we did before Facebook?
Yeah.
I probably would have a coaching business thousands of times bigger than what I have now. Now, that's also a downside. I probably wouldn't be sat here right now. Maybe I would be in a different guise. But for all of us, we're all sinking time into hope. And what I want you to do is sink time into certainty. What do you reckon?
Time into certainty. Right. I'm going to come on and about sinking time into certainty. When we speak with the people who are interested, and we just have a 5-minute chat with them, even a half an hour chat, we learn from them as much as they learn from us, and we can have an epic conversation, and and it's really enjoyable when we've got somebody on the phone who we can help and bring in. And I would much prefer to have a half-hour conversation with somebody every day, or even 15 minutes, where there's no pressure, Rob. It's not long-winded. And I've got the opportunity of saying, hey, you know what? Here it is. And maybe I'm a coach that's helping female executives to expand their business by overcoming that feeling of being judged by the outside world. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I'm going to help female executives expand their business, and by stopping them feeling judged, because when we feel judged, we slow things down. And there I am. I'm working with those ladies or whoever it is, and I'm having these wonderful conversations with them. And I say to them, look, this is how my group works. We have 2 Zooms a week, a Tuesday and a Thursday. You don't have to turn up. If you do, great. If you don't, we record them. Or maybe it's in my private WhatsApp group where I'm sharing 3, 4, 5 minutes snippets every single day. And they say, how much is this going to cost? And you say, well, it's only $50 a month, or it's only $100 a month, or whatever figure that you feel happy with. I can have a nice, easy chat about that in 15, 20 minutes. And I'm not spending my time getting into people into free groups where they're not going to buy, or onto challenges, or to write or writing books. And here's a great thing, a great nugget from here is you are creating a real relationship with these people from the word go. And another nugget is they will also tell you what their buying motives are for your upsell when you do the one-to-one, or whether you do a workshop. So when you get the workshops, let's say you've got a group of, let's say, 6 people, something nice and small, Rob, nothing too big. The reason why I'm focusing it around a group of 6, we'll go for 20 people, right? And those 20 people, they're all paying you $100 a month because you're happy with selling us $100 a month. That's good. And you've got that $2,000 coming in. And then, Rob, what we can say to our clients is this. If anybody wants any one-to-one, you know my prices. My diary's open. First come, first serve, go and book it. What happens?
I want to give a little testimonial, David, in terms of this, because one of our clients, Marcius, has a group of now, I'll look on my phone, but yesterday it was 107 people, right?
Is it $2 a day he charges?
Well, he's just doubled it to $4 a day.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a more different, but yeah, $2 a day, 62 a month. He's actually just doubled it last week, but he's at 107 people. And as with many of our clients, David are in these communities, and I are in their communities as this person's coach. So I'm Marcius's coach, and I'm giving support and guidance. He said, "What do you think? This happened yesterday. What do you think about that?" And I'm like, "Cool, mate. Well, if you go and tweak this and tweak that, here's a bit of feedback." But he put a poll in there about 10 days ago and said, "I'm thinking about having a seminar in July for 2 days. How many of you would be interested in coming to a 2-day seminar in July?" Right? 90-something people said, "Yes, definitely." He's like, "Right, cool. Which weekend would you like in July? This weekend or this weekend?" Almost everybody agreed with one weekend. Right, great. He hasn't yet said, "Here's the name, here's the program, any marketing, here's what I'm going to teach you." Nothing, right? It's a weekend, like, how much do you want to pay for the weekend? Put a poll in, and they all put their answers in, and it was quite surprising. They actually wanted to pay $800 for the weekend. He's like, "Okay, cool. Tell you what, I'll do it all. If you all book in the next week, I'll do it for $600. We still haven't spoken about content, title, who's going to talk about what. Like, he hasn't done any of that stuff yet. He got 48 people pay him $600.
It sounds crazy, and it's really not. The reason why they're doing this is because they know what the wider content is, because they're in his group, right? But they also have a relationship with him and want to get to know him, and they've started to know the other people as well. So they go, "Oh, $600 for the weekend. Yeah, that's worth my time. Get me in." And also, what's the content? And actually, we've had the same when we offered France to people. People paid us $1,500 to come to France, and then they're going, "So what are we talking about? What are we doing?"
So here's what I've observed, David, is the content doesn't matter. With any form of online groups or even online coaching, right? One-to-one, one-to-many, doesn't really matter what it is. People don't get to meet you in person. I am 100% convinced that Marcius's group love him, right? They're paying that $600 to hang out with Marcius for the weekend. That's what it is. I'm 100% convinced, and they know, because Marcius always turns up with cool stuff for them to do that they really love, that helps them get results, and they see movement forwards in their life and business. They're like, "Well, cool. I trust Marcius that if he says he's going to be him for a weekend and be live, I get to meet the guy, get to hang out with him, get to go to supper with him maybe, and it's guaranteed he's going to bring us great content that's going to change our world, just like he does every day of the week. Why wouldn't I want to go and do it?" And there's no reason.
Here's another beautiful thing about this as well, everybody, is that was effortless, literally effortless. Marcius has got people in his group on $2 a day. He gives them livable content, been doing it for a few weeks, few months, said, "Hey, I'm doing this." He wants to come in. And how do you want to do it? What weekend do you want it on? What do you want to pay? There's no stress, no marketing. It's just nice and simple. It doesn't have to just work for retreats and stuff like that. I mean, let's say you've got some room for some coaching clients. Hey, I've got some room for some coaching clients. I've got 5 sessions available over the next month. Who wants it? Yes, me, please. Yes, me, please. And that's where we want, because we don't want to be tied down with selling. We really don't want to be tied down with that energy either. So if we can just go out to a nice group of people, you can have your group as big as you want, whether you want 20 people in that group or 2,000 people in that group, as long as they are receiving value for what you're charging, and and they recognize the value, and you can just ask for that money because it's nice and easy. Because I know some of you might say, "I'm happy to ask for 200 a month. I'm happy to ask for 50 a month, or 100 a month, whatever." Let's get 20 people in that group. Let them all pay $50 a month if that's what you want to charge. You've got $1,000 coming in from 20 people. Brilliant. And then maybe you want 4 or 5 clients, just one-to-one clients, and you explain that. You say, "Look, this is and this is my package." Whatever. Boom. Nice and easy. No selling. They'll sign up. You never have to close again. Now, we have a client, Doran, and we were talking to him live about 2 weeks ago. And we've got a clip of him. We need to actually get this clip and put it on here. But he was talking in our group for about, I don't know, was it 6.5 minutes? Was it, Rob?
I haven't managed to edit it, yes, but yes.
And he said, using the impact to income method means he never has to close. That's the word he used. I just changed the word sell on here. He never has to close. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, let's forget you for a moment. Isn't that really nice for your clients where they're at home and, I don't know, let's say you've got a client called Paul, and Paul's been in your group for some time, and Paul's been just buys completely into you, loves what you do, and Paul sits down with his wife or whoever and says, look, I really need to step my game up here, and I think I'm going to go and speak to my coach and see if we've got any one-to-one. They're already there with the credit card or the bank transfer before you've even picked the phone up. And that's where we all need to be. And surely as coaches, just going back to our best skills, listening to people, talking to people, asking great questions, delivering great content, it brings us here. So for anybody that's watching right now, what we will do in Impact to Income is, well, we'll go past this one here, the 2 types of client that joins us. So if you've got any mental blockers, we'll sort that out. Don't worry, as well as the marketing. But here we go. Where's this slide? Oh, there's another testimonial. There we go. This is what I want to bring to. I want to show you all this. A closer look at the impact to income method. Because you're probably thinking, if you're going to be working with us, if you want to do that, what's going to be in it, Rob? Rob, I'm about to join you, Rob. I like impact to income. Going beyond the illusion seems great. You and David seem awesome. What am I going to get?
So you're going to get a complete package that solves the problems that you face in growing your coaching business and making it a safe, seamless, easy, enjoyable thing for you to do on a daily, weekly basis as your career path. And the list you've got here, David, like this is some of the stuff, but I mean, you know, the starting point really for a lot of this is we're going to help you clean up your marketing and sales messaging so that people know who you are, what you do, and how you are directly, personally for them. And they can then tell other people about you, right?
Yeah.
That's going to allow you to find clients quickly and easily. And I think that's really, really, really important, right? It's highly practical what we're going to be taking you through. This isn't going to be very much theory and spend hours on a laptop doing X, Y, and Z. It's going to be rolling your sleeves up and getting busy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to give you homework because we're like doing this. We'd like to do it with you, please. That's the fun of it, right?
Like we're also doing stuff like sales role playing on selling without selling. How to go and sell to people without ever having to sell, without having to objection handle. Coaches shouldn't be objection handling because it goes against coaching. How to close people. I'm sorry, I'm a coach, and the idea of closing people makes me feel dirty inside because it sounds like manipulation, and I'm not here to manipulate, right? So we're going to do role playing on how to do that. We're going to help you ways to generate the right energy inside so that when you do talk to people and when you coach people, what it actually does is it gives the right representation of you across to them, right? That's really, 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 really important. We're going to look at layered conversations, which is epic. Like that's just a whole different minefield on its own.
It's brilliant.
But then importantly, like the bottom two, like if you get clients, how to keep them, right? It's hard to get clients. Let's do a great job of keeping them once we've got them. And then how to go and coach. And this last bit, David, is not taught on any coaching course anywhere on planet Earth. How to coach that ensures you retain your clients and get referrals, right? There is an adaptation that you can make to how you coach that doesn't go against anything that you currently do, enhances everything you currently do. It makes what you currently know how to do 20, 30, 40, 50% better. It keeps the clients in your business and gets them desperate to come and refer people, their friends, their family, their network, their colleagues, into you as a coach. And that's just the start of the impact to income method. But we start all of that with a business assessment, right? Who are you? What do you do? How do you do it? Maybe I've jumped the gun here, David, a business energy audit. But we start with this because, really speaking, we can't give you advice unless we know all this stuff. Yeah, we honestly can't, because you can't give advice to people unless you know your version of all this stuff. Where have they come from? What are they currently doing?
Yeah.
Where would they like to go to? And what have they done on this journey already? What have they found works? What have you found works for you? What have you found doesn't work for you? So on and so forth, because that allows us to give you the very best possible advice and guidance, and ensure that we help build your business in a way that makes sense for you. You know, we had a client a little while ago who was desperate to do this. Let's just say it was coaching going off to this direction here. And when we observed who they were as a human being and who they are as a human being, which is incredible, they just don't naturally gel at coaching or selling over here. However, they've got a whole new group of people over here who will buy easily from them, who will love them, who will follow them, who they can get massive transformations to, who they can get huge satisfaction from when it comes to coaching. And the impact and the income and everything else that they want. And we can see that by this business energy audit that we do when we start working with you, right? We can help ensure that you're set up to succeed, as opposed to, I'd like to do this, which is legitimate. I get you want it, but we need to ensure those people will buy from you. And there's not they buy into you as well, right? And that's often to do with the energy we bring. That's often to do with the energy type that we put out. But a lot of it's to do with our language type, right? Our educational level, what experience we've had with whom, where, and when in the past.
Come on then, Rob, you're on a roll. Here's our invitation to work with us. You want to take people through this?
Yeah, I will do. So we'd love to spend some time with you, right? And we'd love to help you build the coaching business of your dreams. We'll be honest about it. Now, you'll notice in this, there isn't a buy now button. In fact, there isn't even a book a call button. I think you can book a call or have a private chat with David, or you can find something in the description to speak to David. But we want to encourage you to work with us, because we'd love to work with you, as long as it's a great fit for you and a great fit for us. So if you're keen on that, there's no buy now option now. Go book some time with David, have a chat, see how the world goes for you, and let's step forwards. But before you do that chat, we want you to know what you get. So the first thing is, you get to have a direct communication tool between yourself, myself, and David that's 24/7, so that you get to have all of your questions always answered when they're most important to you, right here, right now, in that moment. That's the first, right? That means you've got us together as your two coaches in your pocket whenever you need us.
Now, I might be asleep, so you might have to give me a few hours.
Yeah, that's it. I'm
not
answer you in this training session now, right? But I will answer a few questions in a minute.
Yeah.
You also get 2 one-to-one coaching sessions with either of us a month, maybe one with David, one with me, maybe 2 with me, maybe 2 with David. David and I both have different areas of speciality. So dependent upon your business need will depend upon where you choose to book your time. If you want marketing and sales and business stuff, you're going to go and probably spend more time with David than with me. But when you're hitting your glass ceilings in business growth, and everybody hits their glass ceilings, I'm an elite performance coach. You come and spend more time with me. And that can go backwards and forwards, month to month, on whatever's right for you in your business and you at that moment in time. We also then run a weekly Wednesday evening mastermind session. Roughly 60 minutes in length. There's some training involved. There's some collaboration involved, and it's a minimum of the mastermind sessions are a minimum of 4 a month. Although we do get carried away on occasions. I mean, in the first week of January, I think we did 6 in a week because it seemed like Yeah.
It was a laugh, wasn't it?
It was
By
a
the
laugh.
way, these are all recorded, so you know if you're on the school run or what have you not, they're done live. So if you can attend them live, fab. But if you can't, we record them so you can watch them for any time after. And on Thursdays we do the wonderful Q&A, where actually I prefer the Q&A to the mastermind, because sometimes we'll get people coming along. We'll get people coming along. We go to the first person. So what's your question? They'll go, well, I've not really brought a question today. So I think that was Tonya, wasn't it, this week? She said, I've not brought a question today. Like 3 people later, Tonya's got a hand up going, can I ask my question? I didn't think you had one. But I've been inspired by the others and what I've heard I've started to bring into my business. And it's actually triggered a question for me. And that's why I love the Q&A. But again, that's it's done live, but we record it for you as well. So you can smash it later.
So,
sorry. Sorry, I should have gone back to the last slide.
No.
I should have gone back to the last slide. How much is it?
So how much is it? It's really simple. Well, it's kind of simple. We're going to get on to a bit more clarity on the price, but like we're going to give you roughly $5,000 worth of coaching a month for just $1,000. Right. And I want you to really, really hold on to that really tightly. Now, there's actually an option in a minute to get it cheaper than $1,000 a month and get to come and hang out with us in France or in South Africa throughout the year as well. So I want to go and sink that in there.
There's some people, though, they don't join us because they don't have the time. They go, I don't have the time to do this, which I just want you to think about it for a second. Hold on. Time's the reason why you're here. We create time, and I don't want you thinking that you're going to have a load of homework to do. You won't. We do this with you, right?
That's it.
In terms of time, you know, if you can give up, it's not even giving up. Switch out a couple of hours of your chaos into the cool, calm waters of working with Rob and David a week. Boom, you're home and dry. You might be thinking, but I don't have the content for this. I don't know how to create the content. Good. Please say that, because I love creating content. So does Rob as well. But between the 3 of us, we'll create that content for you so that you're really, really happy with it. Some people have said to us, Rob, yeah, but my people don't like group coaching. Well, with the analogy of the gym membership, actually loads of people like the opportunity of group coaching, and they don't even have to say anything. It could be turning up later. It might be watching the recording. It might be submitting a question to you in private, so you answer it publicly, but it's in private. So, and people love group coaching because they can learn from other people and their experiences. Rob,
it's all in the packaging, David. It's all in the packaging.
All in the packaging.
So people who say they don't like group coaching, that's because they believe they're going to have to share their dirty underwear, metaphorically, in front of a whole bunch of strangers.
That's it.
We can help you build your group or your community in a way where they don't have to go and do that. They can get their actions, they can get their activities, they can get their habit building things, they can get their transformational guidance, so on and so forth. It just so happens they're getting it on a one-to-many basis as opposed to a one-to-one basis, right? So if your clients don't like group coaching, that's fine. We will help you build it in a way where it feels safe, comfortable, progressive, and enjoyable for your clients.
You might be thinking, but what if I don't like this? But on one side, you've got chaos and confusion and misinformation and running around all over the place to try and keep things going. And on this side, you've got calmness, you've got clarity, you've got more time in the day, you have more income, your impact will increase with your clients. You'll have more people referring people to you. What is it not like about that? You won't even have to sell again. And as Rob said a moment ago, you will not find a buy now button on this presentation. The thing to do is to contact me. The link could be in the description if you're watching on YouTube. If you know me on Facebook, message me. I'll have a conversation with you about it. We will see if it's right for us. When I say us, we've got Rob and I over here, and we've got you over there. And when we speak, I'm going to do one thing. I'll do several things. Or one of the things Rob will tell you I'll do is this. Go and sleep on it. I'm not going to do a hard sell. I'm going to say go and sleep on it. Why? This is about energy. This is about you coming in to the right thing for you, where you're working with two really cool people. Thanks very much. But where we help you and support you in the right way. We don't want you clinging on to the ends of the earth, hoping that something's going to work for you. That's not the right energy for you to join. We don't want you joining because of scarcity or anything like that. We want you to join because we've decided that we can work with you. That's our tick in the box. And you've decided that you can work with us and that you're going to give this a go and that we can work together. We're not going to send you with loads of homework and worksheets and stuff like that. Our task here is to reduce your time, to help you increase your income and to increase your impact, to recession-proof your business, and so that you really, really enjoy your business as well. Sorry, just flashing up a couple of testimonials here. I won't read them through. I'm sure you've got a pair of eyes. We're almost at the very last slide. It could be the last slide. There's one after this. Building the house. Rob, can you take us home on this slide and the next one, please? And then we'll wrap up.
Assuming the fact that you've got a coaching business of some size at this point in time, I believe one of your reasons for turning up this evening or this afternoon or whatever time it is in your part of the world, certainly this evening for me, is because you want to go and add another layer onto your coaching business, right? A layer of growth. If we had to think about this in terms of building a house, we could say that at the moment you've got a coaching business of 1 or 2 stories in height. And actually what you want to do is add on a third or a second story. Often what happens when we're doing that is we're all focused on the design of, I want to add another story up above and I want to do this and have it look like that and blah, 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 blah. But for any of you who've ever built a house or been around houses, you know, properties and houses, they're only as good as the foundations. But what the impact income method ensures you have in place is adequate foundations, in fact, excellent foundations in place so that you can grow upwards, right? We're going to look down to go up. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but how many counterintuitive conversations have you had with your customers where you're like, well, actually, we need to go and align your values. And the customer's like, yeah, get that. Well, I just want to make more money. Or,
yeah.
Or we want to align your values. Yeah, but I just want to lose some weight. Or align your values. Or yeah, but I just want to chill out and do some yoga. I don't know, whatever it is you do in your coaching business, right? And that's what we're going to enable you to do. We're going to enable you to rebuild those foundations. You've already got them. What we need to do is reinforce them and make them bigger. So when you put that extra story on top, everything is stable, it's secure, and it's there for longevity without you having to run around the entire time and do unnecessary maintenance, waste energy and time like fixing stuff that really shouldn't have been broken because we hadn't done the right stuff to do. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to help you build those foundations for your new, big, larger house.
It's got to include fun as well.
Yeah.
There is a, I need to move that message off the bottom there, that little banner.
I've got it.
There we go. This is the big kahuna, I suppose, if you wanted to work with us for the whole year. And when we did this, Rob and I were going to do a retreat a year. And in September, we've got one in France over here in Cognac, and we'll be doing one in South Africa where Rob lives on his estate in the springtime of next year. So yes, you can join us for $1,000 a month, which is $3,000 a quarter. But if you really want to roll your sleeves up, maybe this would make you salivate like the Pavlovian dog we spoke about earlier, licking your lips, because for less than $1,000 a month, 10,750 for the year, you can have us for the whole year and have a free retreat either in France or South Africa. I can't get my words out. Assuming you live overseas, you need to get the ferry or a plane. Or a plane, probably. Ferry to South Africa, that'd be interesting. And you've got to get the plane over. But be on our retreat, we'll take care of you. But like I said earlier, as Rob said, there's no buy now button. That it's we want to speak with you. We don't want you being sucked into something. There's no hard sell. We want a conversation. We need to know if we can work with you first of all, and you need to know if we're right for you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to flick back to that slide there so you can see what it is without the, France or Spain. Rob, I've really enjoyed tonight. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we end the broadcast and we say thank you to everybody for being here and taking part?
I'd just like everybody here who's listening or watching to this to just revisit in their head and their heart for what highest positive purpose they chose to become a coach in the first place. Like, what was that reason for you? And it's going to be different for all of you. But I'm going to guess that for all of you, there was something around having some impact, something around an opportunity for you, maybe for you and your family, or a lifestyle, or maybe it was leaving a job, or any one of those things. There's a series of reasons why. And I'd really like you to go and take what we've said this evening and go and digest it about how this complements your reason why. Right? Everything we've shared with you this evening is about building a coaching business that isn't a job. It buys you freedom, it buys you opportunity, it buys you lifestyle while having the impact that I know you want to have. And I'd just like you to revisit and hold on tight for that for yourself, because that will enable you, whether you work with David and I or not, that will enable you to go and have what you want in your future.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the weekend. We know that you've got your family to go and be with, and you've given up a huge chunk of your day today. So we're very, very grateful. So we'll send you our love and light, and please continue to be the lighthouses that you are. And I really look forward to hearing from you to see if we can work together, because we'd be ecstatic in supporting you. Take care.